It was a cold and dark December night, but a star still lit the sky. Away in a manger, you heard a baby cry. It was the cry of the Son of God, a little baby boy, born in that manger to bring the world joy. So hush up, little baby, know not what you'll do. You'll bring the world peace and love and teach them while you do. You have nothing to fear because you know God is with you all the way. That little important baby, born on Christmas Day. Many people soon gathered round that tiny run-down barn. They knew not of what they saw. Then came three all dressed in fancy robes, silks and furs. This was the first indication of the importance of his birth. So hush up, little baby, know not what you'll do. You'll bring the world peace and love and teach them while you do. You have nothing to fear because you know God is with you all the way. That little important baby, born on Christmas Day. We expected a soldier to save us from our plight, all dressed in shiny armor, ready for a fight. But instead he sent a little baby boy, all filled with love and happiness to bring the world joy. So hush up, little baby, know not what you'll do. You'll bring the world peace and love and teach them while you do. You have nothing to fear because you know God is with you all the way. That little important baby, born on Christmas Day. That little important baby, born on Christmas Day.
Antioch Baptist Church, in honor of our pastor, Bruce Gordon, in honor and memory of previous pastors. Antioch Baptist Church, in honor of our present deacons, in honor and memory of our previous deacons. Bill and Skylar Farmer, in memory of Josh Farmer, William Farmer, Dorothy Grimes, Mr. and Mrs. Talbert DeWitt Sr., in honor of Jean Farmer, Jennifer, Brim, and Ryder McDonald and Dakota Farmer. Cherry Daly, in memory of Charles and Margie McCrary and Mr. and Mrs. J.C. McCrary. In honor of Brittany, Ashlyn, Kinsley, Colin, and Christian, Chad, Mickey, Rick, and Serena Daly. Tony and Margaret Griffiths. In memory of Billy and R.L. Griffiths and Lois and Mildred Alberson, Jean and Luke Alberson. In honor of children, Andy and Amy, John and Jana. In honor of grandchildren, Braylon, Colby, Lauren, and Neil. Mary Touchton. In memory of Gerald Touchton. Robbie and Kak Sink. In memory of Sung Win, Sung Tai, and Alpha Sink and Trevor Douglas. Robert Powell. In memory of Eloise Powell. In honor of grandchildren Dev and Seth. Robert and Joy Vogel. In memory of Theo and Virginia Vogel and Jesse Daniels. In honor of Virginia Daniels. Roy and Linda Powell. In memory of Walter and Lizzie Powell, Charles and Alice Lester, Sis and Bug Fulford, and Loretta Larson. Bruce and Vicki Gordon. In memory of James and Lily Yelverton, and Harris and Mildred Gordon. In honor of our children and grandchildren. Mandy and Bailey Gordon. In honor of Bruce and Vicki Gordon. Charles, Melissa, Dale, Richard, and Emily Lackey. In memory of Roy and Estelle Lackey, Dean and Margaret Rooks, Charlie and Edna Johnson, James Nolan West, and Mike Brooks. In honor of Linda McNair and Bob and Jeanette Lackey.
Herbert, Lori, Amelia Cook, and family. In memory of Mr. and Mrs. Herbert Cook, Sr., and Mark Dado. Stan and Patty Redfern. In memory of James and Atha Redfern, Bascom, and Joe Baker. Margaret, Sean, Chance, and Alec MacDonald. In memory of Graham MacDonald, Mr. and Mrs. M.C. Rouse, Mr. and Mrs. I.W. MacDonald, in honor of Chance, Jessica, and Vanessa, and Alec MacDonald. Sandra MacDonald. In memory of Danny MacDonald, John D. and Alice Gay, Laura Beth Bridges, John Bridges, Melanie Delane, Gay, and Debbie Gay Buhite. Mike and Karen Roberts. In memory of Wyatt Roberts, Cager and Aline Roberts, Grady and Corky Demby, and Sandy Tomberlin. Tal and Claire DeWitt. In honor of our children and grandchildren, in memory of Reverend and Mrs. E.L. Gurr, Sr., and Talbert, Sr., and Barbara Jean DeWitt. Vic and Marilyn Powell. In memory of Eugene and Mary Willis, and Prentice and Arlene Powell. Josh and Renee Gordon. In honor of Finley Ryan Gordon and Flint Rutland Gordon, in memory of Uni Mae Lavender. Doyle and Joyce Metters, in memory of I.J. and Gracie Metters, Roger and Cortez Ireland, and Nora Jo Metters, in honor of children and grandchildren. Clint and Carrie Watson, in memory of Clarence and Geneva Jones, in honor of Tim and Dee Dee Hathcock, Annette Davis, and Grady and Oliver. Jeff and Denise Mann, in honor of our children Summer and Josh, in memory of Ed and Nell Oglesby. Linda McNair, in honor of Melissa, Cynthia, Dale, Ryan, Richard, and Kristen. Loretta Waller, in honor of Roy and Linda Powell and Robert Powell, in memory of Eloise Powell.
Byron and Judy Metters, in memory of I.J. and Gracie Metters, Iris Carter, Llewellyn and Hugh Metters, Pamela and Nora Jo Metters, and Drayden Sears, in honor of children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren. Stacy, Melissa, and Josie Roberts, in memory of Wyatt Roberts. Samantha and Ella Rose McDonald, in memory of their pap, Billy Gray. John and Jana Griffiths, in memory of Lois and Mildred Alberson, and Jean and Luke Alberson, Carl and Wanda Rethwish, R.L. and Billy Griffiths, Cheryl DaCosta, and Garland Rowland, in honor of Braylon and Colby Griffiths. Annette Davis, in memory of Chifa Hathcock Jr. and Martha Grimes Asbell, in honor of all deacons, children, and grandchildren. Mitchell, Tanya, Lena, and David Singletary, in memory of Tony McDonald, Willard and Louise Singletary, Sam Sneed, Mr. and Mrs. Joe Sumner, and Mr. and Mrs. Bob McDonald, in honor of Laureen McDonald, Dub Singletary, Tammy Singletary, and Elaine Sneed. Grant and Ginger Parkman, in memory of Chris Ewing, Lillian and Dewey Parkman, Wayne Parkman, and John Wayne Daniel. Wayne Gable, in memory of Aloma Gable. Irvin and Sonia McDonald, in memory of Wayne and Christine Kilcrease and Tony McDonald. Caleb and Carrie Hathcock, in honor of Mabry Hathcock. Will and Jenny Warren, in memory of Mary Elizabeth Warren and Edie Smith. Chris and Samantha Shedd, in honor of the Shedd family, in memory of Lee Johns, Arthur Bridges, Cecil and Bernita Smith, Cleon Wisham, Victor Johns, and Larry Shedd. Lee and Mandy Metters, in memory of Nora Jo Metters, in honor of Hunter and Kaylee Polk, Natalie and Isaac Metters.
Carmen and Daniel Jones, in memory of Alton and Jeff Jones. Charlie Watson, in memory of Joyce Watson, J.C. and Sarah Davis, John Watson, and Irene Jackson, in honor of Bertie Mae Watson. Craig Thompson, in memory of Jim Bloodsworth and John Thompson. Terry, Katie, and Jarrett, Will and Julie, John William, and Kinsley Giddens, in memory of their loving father, Kenny Giddens. Terry, Katie, and Jarrett, Will and Julie, John William, and Kinsley Giddens, in memory of Papa and Granny Thompson and Adam Giddens. Johnny and Winona Barfield, in memory of Shirley Morgan, Jesse and Dewey Huffstetler, Jean Barfield, in honor of our children and grandchildren, and Jerry and Bobby Morgan. Jeff and Pam Hobby, in memory of Carrie Hobby. Will, Julie, John William, and Kinsley Giddens, in memory of Darrell and Lauren Goodman and Kenny Giddens. Chris and Margot Sanders, in memory of Emily Sanders, in honor of Lucas, Olivia, and Violet. Gil, Christy, Ty, and Josie Haskins, in honor of Edna Waters, in honor of Ty and Josie Haskins, in memory of Nip Waters, Pete and Nuana Gardner, James and Lenora Haskins. Scott, Candy, Faith, and Davis Jones, in memory of Cynthia Jones, Alton Jones, Jeff Jones, Grady Fulford, and Homer and Gladys Davis, in honor of Jeanette Fulford. Alan and Tabitha Giddens, in honor of our children and grandchildren, in memory of Leon and Ethel Black, Maury and Patty Giddens, and Kenny Giddens. Kelly Edie Leverett and family, and Jeff Hobby and family, in memory of Harold and Margaret Hobby.
Jeanette Fulford, in memory of Alton Jones, Jeff Jones, and Grady Fulford, in honor of children and grandchildren. Don and Helen Blackwell, in memory of ID and Clyde Blackwell, and Rayleigh and Toy Washington, in honor of David, Julie, Nathan, and Jacob Blackwell. Andy and Amy Griffiths, in honor of Lauren and Neil, parents Tony and Margaret Griffiths, and Sandra Daniels, in memory of Thomas Daniels. Joe Lindsay, in memory of I.W. and Bessie Lindsay, Lula Schramm, Henry Lindsay, Irvin Lindsay, and Maud Lindsay, and Viola McNair. Laureen McDonald, in memory of Tony McDonald, Joseph and Florence Sumner, and Bob and Lena McDonald. Glenda and Cody Reagan, in memory of Robbie Reagan. Anna and Sandy Parker, in memory of Alvin and Catherine Cook, Mr. and Mrs. Henry Cook, and Mr. and Mrs. Andrew Moore. Jamie and Whitney Jones, in memory of Bill Stanfield and Clarence and Geneva Jones, in honor of Drake and Bradley Jones. Stacy and Debbie Jones. In memory of Hoyt and Doris Stripling, Bud and Sandra Jones, Betty Stripling, and Carrie Ann Hobby. In honor of Jordan and Holly, Landon and Andy, Austin and Emily. Tim and Dee Dee Hathcock. In memory of Clarence and Geneva Jones and Chifa Hathcock. In honor of Annette Davis, Caleb, Carrie, and Mabry, and Clint, Carrie, Grady, and Oliver. Pam Stanfield. In memory of Cindy Yomes and Fred McKinney. Donna Seals. In memory of Lawrence Allen Seals, Donald and Marion Turner, Shirley Goff and Lawrence Turner, Bill Turner, and Samuel Alexander. In honor of Elizabeth and Bill Schubert, and Scott and LaDonna, Corey, and Christopher Schubert. Marvin and Barbara Lott. In honor of Carol Denham, children and grandchildren. In honor of Bobby Denham.
Ryan and Angie Rachels, in honor of Bob and Pat Payne, in memory of Billy Rachels. Cole and Amanda Sumner, in memory of Ted Sumner. Joey, April, Tripp, and Luke Rogers, in honor of our parents, grandparents, and 2 sweet boys. Mike and Christy Harstad, in memory of Jack Dunn. Mike, Carol, and Brandon Jones, in memory of Clarence and Geneva Jones, Bob and Lena McDonald, and John and Lily Bell Jones. Angela Hara, in memory of Lossie Carlton. Sandy Hancock, in memory of Wayne W. Hancock, Sr. Kayla and Garrett Ryden, in memory of Seth Stapleton and Chris Hall. John and Linda Cloyd, in memory of all our family members gone before us, in honor of Jesus Christ who takes care of us each day, our son JC, Bubba, Crystal, Peyton, and Sadie, David and Debbie Avant, and my best friend, my BBF, Margaret Griffiths, Dr. Hancock. Brandon Jones, in memory of Jean Roberts. Luke and Lainey Bridges and kids, in memory of Kenny, Adam, Marie, Patty, and Amy Will Giddens, Bobby West, Leon and Ethel Black, and Louise Tyson. Linda and Roy Powell, in memory of Joe and Boots Goodwin.